Hey Stalkers, the hate train is back with 5 things that I hate about Dutch, which is a bit awkward since there's only one, pronunciation. But don't worry, I've come up with 5 things that I hate about that. And hey, if you stick around to the end of the video, you can listen to me butcher Dutch. Let's go. Number 1, pronunciation overall is unimportant. Now I don't mean that it isn't worth knowing. Of course, as with all language components, it is something that you should constantly be working on. However, in my honest opinion, based on my years of experience of speaking other languages, it's more important to be able to understand and recognize a word than to be able to say it perfectly. Case in point, butter. If you can't hear, I don't say the T's as T's, I say them as D's because I'm an American and that's how we do it. Now another native English speaker might hear that and comment on my accent. However, I have yet to encounter a situation where another native English speaker was not able to understand what I've said based on how I've said it. And my experience is based on my ability to speak English and French. Number 2, it's subjective. Tell me, internet, who speaks English correctly? People from the US, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, or Canada? Now I know you all are gonna pick America, except that you may not. Maybe the American accent is just too nasally for you and you prefer an accent from New Zealand. Everyone has an accent, even native speakers. My particular flavor is Northeastern, and for people in the EU, I still have this accent. However, when I speak to my friends and family back home, they like to comment about how I don't speak like an American anymore. See, subjective. Number 3, it's uncontrollable. My grandma was a native Spanish speaker, and she could speak English very, very well. Despite this though, she never really conquered the letter H and would pronounce it ach. For myself, after 9 years of living in France, I managed to somewhat perfect my French R, but I didn't quite hit the mark with the French U. The comment I always got was, it doesn't sound American, but it isn't French. And that's just the sad fact. You really can't work on pronunciation, it's something that slowly improves over time. But even then, there might be sounds that you will not be able to say. It'll be like my French U. It's not American, but it's not 100% right. Did you know that learning a new language will work muscles in your jaw that you have never used before? And so when you go out after having an exhausting day of having to constantly think of words in another language, you'll end the day with a sore jaw. Fun. Number 4, butchering a language is fun. I think we all fall into that trap of wanting to do stuff really well and not come off as rude or foolish or unknowledgeable. But here's a fun fact that nobody told me, and I'm going to tell you. Listen closely. There is a period when you are learning a language that people expect you to suck. And any and all effort you make in your target language is not only going to be appreciated, it's going to be applauded. I had this when I was living in France and made efforts to speak French, and now I have it in Belgium. Speaking is difficult, but do not let that stop you from putting yourself in situations where you at least try to speak the language. Yes, on occasion you might come across some impatient person. However, that's something that also occurs as a native speaker. You just may not notice it because you're not freaking out by the fact that you can't speak the language. It happens. However, the vast majority of people you come across are going to be delighted to interact with you. So far in Belgium, all I've gotten are compliments about how much my Dutch has improved. And I know my Dutch sucks, but I appreciate the comments. Thank you, dank u wel. Number 5, perfection is not the point of language. The purpose of language is communication. It's to express one idea to another person. And it doesn't matter how you get there, just that you do. So if you can't say mother-in-law or you forget what that is, you could say mother of my husband. Don't remember the word for slow? That's okay. Say it's not fast. You will be understood. Here are some helpful tips if you are a foreigner or if you come across a foreigner. If you come across someone who speaks your language as their second, slow down. Pronunciate all the letters correctly and simplify your sentences. This is a small effort that works wonders. It is the difference between understanding nothing and understanding everything. And if you're a foreigner, don't get hung up on all the words you don't understand. If you think you've missed the meaning of what they said, then repeat it back to them. And if that's wrong, they'll correct you. And don't be afraid to tell them to speak more slowly and clearly. And be prepared to have to tell them this multiple times. Everyone speaks their language at a certain speed out of habit. It's ingrained, and that's really difficult to break. And so if they speed back up or they're eating their letters, it's not in spite of you or to be rude. It's because they forgot and they need to make that extra effort. So just tell them, hey, slow down, not so fast. What was that word? I don't understand. And they'll learn eventually because they'll get tired of having to repeat themselves. So go out and butcher the language until you get it right and don't worry about it. And as promised, let's butcher some Dutch. Fun times. So there are certain letter combinations that I have a lot of difficulty with, particularly SCH. This is a sound that exists in English, and just to mess with me, the Dutch decided to steal some English words and then change up the pronunciation, because that's fun. So the first word is school, which exists in English, except you're supposed to pronounce it school. And I got that one down because I practice it, like all the time, because ik kom naar school. Mijn kinderen gaan naar school. That one's good. Not too difficult. Until you change one little letter. Change the L to an N. And I cannot get this out. It comes out schoon. Schoon family. But that's not correct. It's schoon family. And that's how I say it. I say it slow like that. Schoon family, because the letters get stuck. But that's okay. I don't need to say schoon family. I can just say family van mijn man. It works. It works. But today I learned another SCH word, and I can't say it at all because it's scheden. Scheden. It's a verb. It means something. I don't know, and I can't say it. Oh, Nederlands is moeilijk. My second issue is a particular vowel combination, which is you and I, which I'm not sure I'm ever going to be able to say this because it reminds me a lot of the French U sound, which I never really conquered. But it's an oi sound, except it's not oi. So you have it in the word of spite, and toy, which are very mispronounced, but hey, I'm trying. And then there's the G, the Dutch G, which is just an evil, evil letter. And it's in a really important verb, gaan, which is to go. And in the beginning of the word, it's not as difficult. But again, Dutch likes to steal words, like hamburger, and pronounce it hamburger. Hamburger. No, hamburger. I think that's it. I'm gonna put this out there. I think my country invented hamburgers, and it's pronounced hamburger. Easy. Yeah, pronunciation is hard, but I'm confident that in a few years I'll be able to look back at this video and be like, oh, my pronunciation hurts my ears, it's so bad. But hopefully it won't take a few years. Hopefully it'll come sooner than that. How do you guys feel about pronunciation? Feed me your comments below. Subscribe to stalk me, follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys tomorrow, or if you can't wait, watch another video of mine. Tot ziens, mijn appelziens!